Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Football Live. This is another recording of Talk Football Live this weekend. This is game 13. Is that right,
Yeah.
Charles?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God! Oh my God! We're moving gradually to the half of the season. So welcome
Yeah.
back, Charles. Welcome back, Cincy. We don't have IO tonight, so welcome back, guys. Uh this session we're going to be talking about the Man U Arsenal game coming up. But before I do that, I just want to appreciate our fans, our followers. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to Talk Football Live. Continue to share our videos. Thank you very much for your partnership and staying with us. We continue to bring you more recordings, wonderful and interesting ones. So I will miss you tonight, but I know you're going to be back for the for game 14. Sensei, are you feeling? I know you're feeling great, but I just want to hear from you. It's been a great result so far.
Yeah, it's good,
Give me
man.
something.
Feels good. Feels good to be a Man U fan once. Yeah, yeah. I feel optimistic. Let me put it that way. I feel optimistic.
Okay,
I think
you're
it's
gonna make
still
Europe.
good. Eh? Are we
You're
gonna make
gonna make
Europe?
Europe next? Yes.
Right now, I think with the way we are playing, if we can keep the form and win some key games, I think United has a chance to make Europe. Next year. I
Wow.
To
think
make
there's a
Europe.
chance.
With
The
Europe
league.
conference, Europa.
Well, you know what's funny, Charles? You try to basically take a dig at
No,
someone.
I'm not. See, that's where you're
Okay,
getting it.
no, I think I should
That
ask you the
question.
same question. What Europe are you? Which of Europe are you
Well,
playing?
Okay, listen.
This
I
season,
think
this season, which Europe are you?
The question is a valid
this,
question,
this
though.
season.
But when I asked you that question many months ago, Charles, what you tell me is that Europe is Europe. We are in Europe. That's what matters.
Ask Europe is Europe. But there are still levels to it. So I'm asking him which one is
Okay, so
Europe.
you know there are levels to it. Okay,
See,
okay, okay.
Let me ask you a
This,
Are,
question.
are,
this,
are you are you
this is
asking
recorded.
me?
Since
Are you
since
asking me who I'm going to qualify for?
yes, in all honesty, with the way which in your prediction, calculated prediction, which Europe do you can qualify for?
I think United can still qualify for Champions League. There's still a lot of games to be played. So, especially with the new coach, with the new management, and maybe if things click on and the boys win a couple of key games, like I said, some important games, and obviously all those games, the Leicester games today, they should be a win-win for us moving forward. And if we win one or a couple of those, tight games that we feel like it could be a draw or could be a potential loss back in the day, I think United would have a chance of sneaking into that fourth place. But it's going to be tough, though. I'm not going to lie, because we are competing against some really, really good teams. Liverpool is very good. Chelsea is definitely not a pushover, and obviously we know Arsenal. Arsenal is definitely a top team, and Man City, obviously, even though they are going through, their spell right now, I will still not count them out on a good day. So I expect them to come out of that rust eventually. But so in order for United to break into that top four this season, I think it's going to be difficult. But I'm very, very optimistic with the coach that we are. But for me, I don't even think that's the priority right now. I think the priority for United should be more of a recovery. There's a lot of injuries. There's a lot of stitches that need to be amended. It's like a full surgery operation that needs to be done. So we're not even worried about Champions League, to be honest with you. I think this season is all
So,
about performance,
since,
improvements,
since,
getting the chemistry
since
right.
I'm,
Yes,
I'm,
sir.
I'm going to
Yes,
come
yes.
back to you because I disagree. I'm going to come back to you on that, but I
Actually,
disagree.
actually,
But, but
Biodun, because
Charles,
I just have a question for Cincy. Just because he mentioned Liverpool top contenders, Chelsea, they're not a pushover. We know Arsenal, and then the City. So my question is, if you are going to qualify for top four, which among those four do you think is going to be kicked out?
So if I'm gonna be honest with you, if I'm gonna be honest with you, it's very hard to say. And as much as I don't want to say it, it's looking like City right now, man. If City is not careful, if City is not careful,
I mean, they are
if,
currently not in the top four. Anyway. They are
if,
currently not in the top four.
if City is not careful, you're
if
going to
City is
take out
not
City
careful,
and take number 4?
if City is, I know it sounds crazy, but if they are not careful,
You guys know they are not number four. They're not in top four right now, right?
exactly my point. Exactly
Brighton
my
is number
point.
four.
Eh? Who's
Brighton
number
is
4?
number 4.
Oh, so yeah, obviously, yeah. So I mean that is good. So the fact that they are not there, that's why I picked them. That they might be the one not to make it, because we might actually be the one who substitute for Brighton. With the way they are losing, I don't know. It seems like they can't come out of this rut. I don't know how a team can be so dependent on one player. It's just crazy. It's
And who's
insane.
that player?
Oh, I'm talking about Rodri, and now KDB is not even in form. It's like the team is. I can't actually believe what I'm seeing. Like it's crazy. Pep almost tore his own skin the other day. Talking about. I'm like this guy is going through some mental crisis. They need to check on him because that's how it starts. And I'm sure the dressing room is hot right now. Like the guy is breaking everything. I'm sure he's breaking everything in there. And all those guys probably don't have anything to say. So I'm sure the tension is crazy right now. So I don't know, yeah, but it's good to have him back to reality. The guy he has been here for too long. I think it's good for him to come back down to it.
You know what? You know what? So you know what? We want to talk about Man U Arsenal game this week, right?
Okay.
That's the focus. I want to stick to
Yeah.
that. But before I turn that over to Charles, Charles, you've been smiling a lot. Tell me the reason why Chelsea should not declare themselves as a title contender. You're second, basically.
We've done this over and over and over again. How many times do I want to tell you? We're in the rebuilding phase. You don't rush things. See, the truth about it is this. Let me be honest with you. Me, I'm always smiling anyway. Whether Chelsea is winning or not, I will smile. But to answer your question, if Chelsea wins the league, I won't be surprised. I'll be excited. I'll be happy. Actually, maybe I'll be a little bit surprised, But I'm not. It's not an expectation I'm putting on them right now. As a fan, I'm not expecting Chelsea to win the league this season. I'm expecting us to minimum make top 4. We were 6th. I believe in gradual improvements. We were, I think, 9th or so, or 10th the year before that. Then we were 6th at some point, which was last season. And then hopefully we go higher and make top 4 this season. Then maybe next season we keep the same players. I
actually think you can say all you want, but I'm just going to be frank. I think that's an unacceptable statement. Number one, we all started at the same time, like Donadoni would say. We all started at the same time. There's no excuse for anybody to complain. That's number one. You have spent more money than anybody else. You basically spend the budget of almost all
usual rhetoric
in EPL. No, 1.5 billion is nothing to be hiding behind the walls. You need to come out full chest and show your face and let us know. You are second right now. You are like 44 players, right? So if somebody's injured, you pick another one they can play. So stop complaining, man. Let's face it. But let's talk about the Man U. Let's talk about the Man U Arsenal game. Man U has moved off to number 9.
You won't be the one to give us a target. We are giving ourselves a target, and the target.
No, you're deceiving yourself. There is no CEO with that kind of money, and telling the investors and telling the shareholders that I cannot deliver. That's just not acceptable.
That sounds like a personal opinion right now.
But anyway, it's not acceptable.
Let's move on.
Anyway,
let's move on. Over
I'll pass
to
it on to you.
Arsenal versus
walk us through Arsenal Man U game coming this midweek.
Arsenal versus Man U. Arsenal versus Man U. Yeah. So
let's get a game right, man.
Yeah, the game has been. I mean, Man U is stepping up as you've been telling us, or as you've indicated, and we know Amorim is still new to the league and is getting things done, or at least he's showing glimpses. Rashford is back. Seems like it. How do you think he's going to set up against Arsenal? Because I know he's going to set up. How do you think that's going to look like when it comes to the team?
I think he might make maybe 1 or 2 changes. I don't know what changes he's going to make. I like him because he's an adventurous coach. He thinks outside the box, and I think he's still going to have the same setup. The 3-4-3 that he's trying to push currently. I think that's going to be the setup against Arsenal, and because he needs to, like he said, even in his interview, he mentioned it. He said he needs to get the boys getting used to this system as soon as possible. So, and I think that's why, if you notice a lot of the games, he's doing a lot of rotation. So I expect him to still keep the same team that is currently playing, but I would expect him 1 or 2 changes. I don't know who he's going to change. He's and I like the fact that I can't predict him. Like the other game he played Malaysia that we have not even seen in ages. Yeah. So I like the fact that he's doing that. I like surprises. I'm loving it. So. But I think it's going to have the same setup. I think it's going to be a very interesting game for United.
Okay. And I know I'll get to you Biodun in a minute, but where exactly do you think Amorim's strength is when it comes to his formation, his style of play? Where exactly do you think is the strongest part of his game?
For me, I think it's the wings. The wings are getting overloaded. I'm seeing a lot of exposure on the wings against teams. The teams are overlapping. and also the high press up front is working very well. I'm seeing a lot of pressure. I'm seeing a lot of physicality. I'm seeing the boys are finally running. United never used to run. I don't know what happened, but now I'm seeing the pressure. I'm seeing the boys are they're up for it.
Maybe the new coach.
Yeah. I mean, and I think those are some of the things he has brought into the team. The strengths of the manager, even the personality that he has. It seems like there's a certain personality that you need to have now in modern day football. You have to be this Rico Suave coach, slim fit. The Pep type style, and I think that's what everyone is trying to kind of like portray now. Even Van Nistelrooy, if you look at even Van Nistelrooy too, he kind of has that same aura about him. So there's a certain type of managers that are looking for now. We don't. I mean, when I was hearing some of the things that Van Gaal did during his time. I mean, they were ridiculous. Like some of the, it was, I think it was Andre Herrera. He told them in practice that their first touch cannot be they cannot shoot the ball. So this particular game, Andre Herrera, his first touch was a shot, and it was a goal. You would not believe that United won that game, but when they got to the dressing room, this guy killed him for it. He was like, "No, I told you guys, only passes. First touch must be a pass, not shoot." So, having that kind of manager, with these young boys, it restricts their talent. But to have a coach who is able to allow them to express themselves, to move around, but at the same time still keep that tactical discipline, because you need it when you are defending. So it's very, very important, for United. So this is I think this is going in a good direction. I feel very, 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 out of all the coaches that we've hired since Fergie left, this is the only one manager that I can proudly say that I feel optimistic about. Even all the other managers, I never brag about them. And the reason is because I need to watch
about Mourinho.
No, I didn't brag about Mourinho because I already know what to expect with Mourinho. I knew Mourinho was just going to be a fixer. That was what he was. He was a fixer. But now, with this guy coming in, from day one, I can already see his game plan. I can see it. Even though, and I always tell my friends, for me, it's not about the win. I don't care if we win the game. I don't even care if I want to see what are you bringing to the table? What do you want to do? And that was the problem a lot of all these ex-coaches had. Even when we win with Solskjaer, with Ole, when we win with Ten Hag, I was still confused. I'm like, man, I cannot bank on this win. I can't take this win to the bank, because it will not last. This like Flugezi. But with this guy, from day one, I already saw the formation. I saw the setup. And this guy, you know what you want. I can see your style. I can see it on the soccer pitch. It's not just by mouth. We are getting better. No, I will see him for pitch. So I feel very optimistic right now. I know you guys might be thinking, until today, United fans, we have come. No, we have not come. This is the one time that we are beginning to believe again that the sky shall be red once again in Manchester.
All right, since we'll hold you to that, Biodun, I'm sure you have a lot to say with your facial expressions.
I don't even know where to start, but
you can respond to Cincy first. Right.
Let me just respond and try to see if I can cover everything he said. And I was watching the timestamp. I was watching the timestamp of everything he said, so that I can go back to the time stamp and check it out in case he wants to deny it. Right? Manchester United are cracking me up right now. Fans, they are cracking me up right now. And why did I say that? I mean, Yanis is saying again. I think Amorim is a good coach. I think so. And I think he's going to do better than the previous coaches that have struggled. Why? I think he's a young guy that is ambitious, that has had success. So he's in the realm of, Arteta, Xabi Alonso, the Ipswich manager company, all these young boys, former players, have that opportunity to manage top teams and have delivered, right? So I think he's in that. So he's ambitious, he's hungry, and he has a plan. He knows he has a style that he has played before and he wants to continue to play. So I get that. So I give it to him. I think he will do better. Then I think it's different from Erik Ten Hag that came. I think one of the challenges with Erik Ten Hag is I'm not even sure if he had the backing of the entire Man United base behind him. Looks like, folks are warming up to Amorim, which is fine, reception, honeymoon period and all that. So that's going well for him. But I just need this guy to calm down and relax. Remember not too long ago, a week and a half, when they drew to Ipswich, these guys were not saying these things. There were a lot of complaints about their own squad, about, it's going to take a while. Even Amorim came back, right, 2 days after and said, I've spoken to the press more than my entire time at Sporting Lisbon. Now because of 4-0 against Everton, you're hearing the difference. So that's why I said, this is just human beings. This is human beings. This is how they behave, right? Things go well. Exactly. This is emotion, right? This is pouring out emotion. So guys, be careful. Oh, I can see the structure. I can see that, bro. You saw that against Ipswich. You were one of the people that are like, oh man, I don't know when we're going to get to this structure. It's going to take a while.
No, I have not had any conversation with you. This guy was.
I have spoken to similar Man U fans. They were like, okay, it's a long way between where he wants to get to and the players we are. But now suddenly they are like, I think we are there. So I'm just going to keep quiet and watch.
Oh, I never said we are there. I don't think we are there yet.
They will come back and cry. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I don't think we are crying anymore. I don't think we are crying anymore.
Okay, all right. That's fine. But let me just remind you. No matter how great you are, even Pep Guardiola, when he came to England, he couldn't fix it in the first season. So you need to just accept that. I don't see Amorim. See, by the way, you said something which I actually would like to start with. You said your mandate is not Champions League. So what is your mandate?
I never said my mandate is not Champions League. No, I said this season is not even about qualifying for Champions League.
Yeah, you said
I said this season. What is
the goal of this season?
Right now, this season is all about putting the team together. Like I said, this team is a team that has been, it needs stitches. The team is in serious damage. So the guy is slowly constructing it. So we need to put the team together, get the chemistry right before we can even start thinking of competing. Even if we don't even make it to Champions League, even if we don't make it to Champions League, right? And we end up carrying 5th, it's still okay. It's still fine. For me, from right now to the end of the season, it's going to be performance-based. It's going to be, what are we putting in? How are we improving? What are we seeing? Those are the things we want to see. And so far, so good. I think this guy has already shown us glimpses of it. Like I said, the past managers, even when they won games, even when only won, I can tell you to my own bottom of my own heart, I still cannot tell you that, man, this game, what did I learn from it? I didn't learn anything from this game. This game just looks like fluke. Even when only won 10 games in a row, I was still not convinced. But even with the couple of games this guy has played, I can see, and this is him not even bringing his own players. This is him managing. He's managing Eric Ten Hag's garbage.
Let him finish.
Wait. Few more questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you maybe you forgot, because this is public.
Yeah.
The mandate given to Amorim when they hired Amorim a few months ago was to take United and make sure that United gets to Europe next season. In case you forgot, go check it out. That's what they told him.
Which Europe?
I don't know. Go ask the.
So I don't know. Are you telling me that if it doesn't make Europe this season?
Wait. What you just said, that is your own wish. That is what you would have gone for. But I'm telling you, based on what we heard, that this guy got his job with the mandate of, number one, they're not going to chase the title. That's not possible. They cannot make that. But they have to get United to Europe next season. Now, whether that means number 4, whether that means number 5, or whether that means number 6, or whether that playing FA Cup final, winning FA Cup final and take a back door like you did the last season. Let me just remind you, that's how you got to Europe, because you didn't deserve it. We're all cruising and wishing you well because we didn't want Chelsea to make it. Right? So I'm confessing right now. So whether you're going to take a back door, but that was what they told Amorim, that hey, you need to get here because they have to be in Europe. If they don't get back to Europe, it's going to affect the finances, and you need to know that. So let's watch and let's see how these things will play out. Whether I can take you back to number 4, number 5, number 6, number 1, I don't believe that I can even smell 4. I'm just going to tell you right there. Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. That's how I see that. If anybody drops, just think about the people ahead of you before man you can knock out anybody from number 4. You have Tottenham to compete with. You have Brighton to compete with, right? And you have Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Tottenham. You have to be able to, to eliminate those guys to get stuff. So let's just leave that one for a further conversation. Now, Charles, give me 1 minute or two, right? So let's get back to the point. What game? Amorim I've only played a UEFA Cup game against what's it called? Bodo Begus. Sorry, not Bodo Begus. I'm just joking right now. Bodo Gims or whatever they call them. That's it from nowhere. He's only played that. He's only played Ipswich and he's only played Everton. Tell me what game that made you feel like, oh, I've seen a structure and this is not Ole's team and this is not ETA's team.
Everything from day one. He has shown the structure. He has shown it from day one.
Day one was Ipswich game. You saw that in the Ipswich game?
Yeah. Okay. I already saw it from the game. I asked my friends. I can show you my text messages. I already saw it. As I said, I don't care about results. I'm a different kind of football fan. When I watch a game, I want to see some certain things, some certain changes. And I know it wasn't going to happen on the first game. And slowly it's beginning to show up. See, let me tell you something. This Everton game, these are games that we used to struggle before. These are games that United will just barely win. And we just win just because we are just a little bit better than those teams. But we comfortably beat Everton like we used to. This was United.
Can we talk a little about the Everton game? I actually think if Man U fans, let me say this, I might disagree, but this is what I observed. As an Arsenal fan sitting and waiting for how the Arsenal Man U game will play out. I wasn't really scared. And I'll tell you why I wasn't really scared. The Man U Everton game, that was a lot of amateurish play from Everton. I think 2 of the goals could have been avoided. You saw a lot of defensive blood coming from an EPL team. I don't think a national defense will give you those opportunities. And I'm sure you will not disagree with that. I don't think a national... Hold on. Bro, the third goal, the one that... what's his name? I forgot his name right now, the defender. A national defense will not give you that opportunity. Let's just be clear about that. So if you're going to have to score against Arsenal... If you're going to score against Arsenal... No. The point I'm trying to make is...
Football doesn't work that way.
We talk about the wingers, right? I don't see your winger.
Football doesn't work that way. Let me tell you something. The Arsenal game, I'm not even worried about the results. As long as we can go toe to toe with Arsenal, if I can see United even have 4 or 5 chances against Arsenal, trust me, I am content, because that is something we never used to even have before. We don't have chances against anybody, not even talk about having a chance against a good team. Again, I'm not expecting United to go there and beat Arsenal 3-0, even if we lose 2-1. I don't care. At the end of the day, if I see performance, I look at the possession, I see how we played, I say that we gave it everything. That's what I'm looking for, because I'm not expecting him to do it this season. Again, we are going to build from here. Even when Ateta came, it was the same thing, like you said. Nobody is expecting you. You cannot say because you saw one game against Everton and you think that because of that, you're not going to be scared of United. No, don't be scared now. You'll be scared next year.
No.
Next year, you will be scared. You'll be scared next year. I can guarantee you, you'll be scared. You'll be scared next year. Because by the time Amorim brings his boys, brings his own players into the team slowly, at one point, you will start getting scared. You will start getting scared.
Okay, I like this. This is good for you. It's good for your health and it's good for your sleep. I'm glad that you can talk loud at this point. Go ahead, Charles.
Hold on. So,
my fans.
A lot has been said. I would say one thing or a few things. Cincy has always said he doesn't care about results. He likes to watch the game and see some points. He said that when Ten Hag was there, he's been saying that. So I'll give him that.
The truth is that he can say that all day. You can say that all day long. You and I, Cincy, you and I know that result is the key. Result
yes. Results will become key for you. Results will become key for United in next next season. This season right now, it's all about performance.
Okay, hold on, guys. Like I said, Cincy has always said that. Not that I agree with him. Me and him, we've disagreed on that before. I think results is key. I don't care about how well you perform, how well you display. If you don't get a final result, I have a problem with it, because results is what gets you trophies. But that's by the way. Since you mentioned Man U can get to Europe, I asked you what kind of Europe. Biodun laughed when I asked that question. There's a reason I asked. Then you eventually said maybe 5th. So are you saying Man U may not get to champ? You're not expecting Champions League. You're expecting Europe.
Honestly, I don't think it's the probability is.
Man U is
No,
not
the,
making Champions League.
the probability of us making Champions League right now is pretty high. You know, the chances are it's very good because we're not too far away from number 4. You know,
Okay.
now.
Okay. Fair.
Are we going to? Am I expecting them? Am I going to put a gun on their head that you have no? I'm not worried about that. That's what I'm saying. I'm taking it one game at a time. One game at a time. Even if we beat Arsenal, on this thing, I will not even let it get to me. I will go back and watch the game and watch the performance. If the performance is bad and we luckily won, I will not be happy because I don't like it. Yeah, go ahead.
Follow-up question, Cincy.
Yeah.
You said a lot about, and before I even say this, I remember when I praised Maresca 3-4 games in, Biodun laughed at me, saying, what has he done? I understand what you are saying, Cincy. Even though I kind of agree with Biodun that it may be too soon. It's just 3 games in. But I understand what you're saying. When a team, a player, a coach, because when Chelsea brought Graham Potter, 4, 5, 10 games in, I wasn't convinced. When they brought Poch, 10 games, I saw the mediocrity. With Maresca, 4 games in, I saw it. And I told Biodun at the beginning of the season, Biodun was like, it's too early, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I'm seeing what I'm saying. You understand? I'm saying
Thank you.
You understand? So I get
Thank you.
I get it. But Cincy, here, I'm trying to curb your excitement. You've said something, and I want to kind of ask a question. You've kind of lifted Amorim above all the managers that has come before. After Ferguson.
Yeah.
So, do you think Amorim is the answer to ask?
Well,
you sound like you do, but I want to hear.
I strongly believe this is it for United. I want to believe this is it. This is a manager that is going to be here for a long time. That is going to compete.
You think this guy is going to win the league?
One day. It will be the one that will win the league for United. Yes, I believe so. If there's any manager that we've had so far to this point that I believe would win league for United, this is the guy. Now, is it going to be next year or 2 seasons? 3? Well, but if they give him time, let him work on a 5-year project, I can guarantee you at some point, this guy is going to definitely compete and is definitely going to be the manager that will win United.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, so next we're going to thank you guys for, that was heated and interesting. Lots of points being thrown left and right. We're going to go into predictions. Biodun, you can bring up the list of games coming up. But before we go into predictions, we're going to predict Arsenal, Man U first. But before we even predict, I'm going to tell you how I want prediction. I don't even care about scores. I just want you to tell me Ipswich win or Crystal Palace win or draw. Make it simple. Quickly, we're going to go through. But first, let's start with Arsenal, Manchester United. And you're both going to predict this one. Biodun, what do you think? Arsenal win, Man U win, or draw?
I don't predict, right?
But you have to today.
No. I predict, but I don't predict for Arsenal, right?
You have to today. Because we've talked a lot about this game. Let's predict.
Well, you're going to accept whatever I tell you here. So if not, I'll leave it to you. I expect an Arsenal win.
And I'm down.
Well, that's on you. Whatever you want to do.
What do you say?
I expect an Arsenal win. I don't think it's going to be easy. But the point is here. Arsenal plays with the same intensity, seriousness, and hunger, which I already called it. I'm not going to say it, but you already know where I stand with the league. But I don't think that should stop them from giving the best of their performances. I think it's late right now. It's too late. But with way after Arsenal has played the last 2 games or 3 games since Odegaard returned, I think it's going to be too much for Man United to contain. I just think so. The only challenge I see is that Partey had a muscle injury the last game and he didn't play. That's a concern to me personally, because when he has these muscle injuries, which he has dealt with in years, it takes him away from 2-3 games. And this is the time that the guy is eating form. So it's not good for us. Okay. That is an opportunity for Man United to kind of press us and give us some challenges. But I will let Arteta figure that out, whether it's going to play Declan Rice as DM and push Odegaard and Merino. Hopefully Merino is back, because Merino too had a knee injury, so he didn't play the last game. If not, maybe we're going to stick with Jorginho. I'm worried because Jorginho cannot play games back to back. He's older now. He doesn't have the legs. So he needs to figure out how he's going to play that midfield. I watch Man United. They have a lot of players back from injury, which is good for them. So Meno, Casemiro, Ugarte, all these guys are back. So he can pick anybody in that midfield and play, which is good for him. But Odegaard being there, who is a leader and is able to press, I think we should be fine. Is a must-win for Arsenal. Let me just say that. Is a must-win. If Arsenal wants to continue to chase Liverpool, is a must-win for them. Whether it's 2-1, whether it's 3-1, at this point, I don't care about performance. I've enjoyed performance. He has never delivered trophies for me. So at this point, 3 points is what I care. Since he cares about performance, I give you performance, I'll take 3 points.
All right. Thank you. Cincy, I want you to predict the same game. I know you've already told us what you think Amorim is going to do. Strength is in the wings, wing back position. But what do you think is going to happen in this game?
I think this game is for United. I think this game, a draw will be good for United. I am predicting a draw for United, maybe a 1-1. But I think also United can actually win this game because now Biodun might think Arsenal is like this so-called perfect team. I watched their game against Arsenal, and there's a lot of lapses in that team, man. They make a lot of mistakes at the back, and I believe that United can counter on that mistake, once or twice, and we definitely getting some goals. Arsenal is not as good as they think they are, man. To be honest with you, I saw that game against West Ham. The 2 goals they conceded were very lousy, 2 lousy goals, and they tried that against United. They will have themselves to be blamed.
Okay, so you're predicting
and if 5 goals they score against West Ham,
it's okay. No, I'm not worried about the 5 goals. I'm not worried about the 5 goals. I'm worried about the ones you leaked. No, he's the one you leaked because you talk. You talk as if Arsenal is this perfect team. But I look at your game and no, that's what you make it sound. But I look at your team and I see some mistakes in your team that I feel like, and that's why you guys are struggling this year. You guys are struggling.
They are way.
But you guys are struggling though. But do you agree you're struggling? You made a lot of noise before season started, and now Arsenal is Chelsea. Chelsea is ahead of you. You cannot even get away from Chelsea. You cannot even get away from Chelsea. You and Chelsea are tied in points. You and Chelsea are tied in points. You cannot make noise too much. But guess what? You're not even better than Chelsea. You're not better than Chelsea.
Number 1, okay.
You're not even better than Liverpool. Liverpool came from nowhere. Liverpool came from nowhere. Liverpool came from nowhere. They came from nowhere. And number 1. Arsenal should be poor. Arsenal should be poor. Listen, Arsenal should be number 1 in this league. Arsenal should be number 1 in this league.
Since let Biodun respond.
I'm just surprised that he found his voice finally, which I'm glad and I'm happy for him.
I mean, he has a new coach. New coach bounce.
It's fine.
What is it?
It's fine. It's fine. Mm-hmm. So here's the few points. The things that I actually think, I won't say Arsenal is struggling, and I think I've said it before. Arsenal has been unlucky. Very, very unlucky. Why did I say that? And you guys cannot deny that. 3 red cards in a game. 3 games with red cards. They survived 2 of those. They couldn't survive the 3rd one.
Yeah, I'll counter you on that one, though.
Nah, bro, that's not
I'll give it to you.
You are making excuses right now. You are making excuses. Liverpool has a new manager. They have a new manager. A new manager that came into the team. You guys should be number 1 in this league. With City struggling. With City struggling. Arsenal should be number 1. Arsenal should be number 1 with City struggling.
Liverpool had some games last season that they were red carded. Sometimes 1 red card, sometimes 2 red cards.
Yeah,
they were able to win the games. Sometimes.
Let me know when I can respond.
Yeah, I'll let you respond. I think I agree with you. Arsenal has been unlucky sometimes, but also I think Arsenal also haven't learned to. I mean, I'm not talking about 1 game, 2 games. I'm talking about when you have a lead, like 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, when you had a lead and you lost it. You can't put that on red cards. Even last season, when you were leading towards the end and you lost to Aston Villa and the City took over. You can't put that on record. Sometimes Arsenal just aren't clutch to the end.
They are just lousy. They are just lousy defensively. They act as if they know it, but they are lousy. I mean, they are very lousy.
They had the best defense in the league for some years, but regardless of that, they still choke when it matters.
Yeah, they do.
They on the last 2 seasons.
And let me ask you this, Mr.
That's why they're second right now. But this is not a dig at Arsenal. Let's stick to the predictions. Biodun predicted an Arsenal win. Cincy, You said draw, then you said win. Which one are you picking for your prediction?
No, I said it's going to be a draw. But with the way Arsenal is playing, with all the mistakes they make, I actually think United might be able to sneak a win. But I will take a draw.
Okay, good. Biodun, you have a response. 1 minute.
Number one, you guys should stick to the topic because you are heavyweight. You are left, right, and center. You yourself, Charles, you went back to 2 seasons ago. Because I'm lost right now.
I was
what are you talking about? I'm lost. No. The point you're making is irrelevant. He's talking about Arsenal struggling, and I said they're not struggling. Then you went back to 2 seasons ago. So I'm just going to pack that somewhere and respond to you guys.
Okay.
I am telling you, you might define it as struggling. To me, that's not struggling. Let Man United experience what Arsenal has experienced. Then you and I can come back, and let me land. You and I can come back and argue whether Arsenal is struggling. The red card given to Declan Rice against Brighton. Tell me whether the PGMO has been consistent with that decision. The game Arsenal played against Nottingham Forest. Let me land my point before you say anything. The game Arsenal played against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest player did the same thing, and there was no yellow card. See, when you implement through, when the referees implement through, there are some rules that they themselves know that they can never be consistent. That was an unlucky decision against Arsenal. But that's gone. That's by the way. I'm never going to go back to that. I brought it up because you said they were struggling. So that's number one. Number two, against City, the same yellow card situation against Trossard, they turn it into a red card. That's number two. Then the third one, the same mistake against Bournemouth, that red carded Saliba. Go check it. They actually acknowledge that should have been a soft one. It should never have been a red card. Those are 3 games. Those things are gone. Nobody's going to get that back. You then brought up Liverpool having red card situation last season. Where did Liverpool end? Did they win the league? They ended number 3. So when you make a point, please make sure that your point makes sense to what we're talking about. Liverpool ended number 3. They ended number 3. So if those mistakes were costly, yes, they were costly. If that is the point that you are making. What I'm trying to tell you is that they've been unlucky. Nobody has been in that situation, yet they are still trying to catch up. I am not saying that's an excuse, but I'm saying when you face those situations, you need a very matured and a confident team to bounce back from that. Now, plus that, they've had injury problems. Every one of us has experienced injury, except Liverpool they have, but not as much as anything. And you know that when teams experience injuries, it's not an excuse, but that's the way that you determine winners. And the ones that can survive the injuries matter a lot. Arsenal lost the leader. They are just having their leader back. City has lost Rodri. They've lost KDB. You've seen the problems now. That's the point I'm making to you. So when you open your mouth and you talk about Arsenal should be number 1, think about what they have experienced. And let's just look at how things go from there. And I'm just going to watch you crumble because I'm going to wait for you and I'm going to come back for you, Man United.
So, right. so we cannot watch Arsenal crumble too. We cannot watch Arsenal crumble too.
You
watch now.
We already have our issues. That's what I'm telling you.
We're already crumbling now. Hold on. Let me ask one question. Let me ask one. See, Charles, I beg 1 second. Let me ask you one question. Right? Now you say you guys are not struggling, but you believe that you are disappointing because how can Liverpool? That new manager that just came, you guys have been the one competing for the past 2 seasons with City. Now, City is struggling. I expect you to be number 1. I expect you to be number 1. But you're not number 1. You're not number 1. You are not number 1. You are disappointing. You are disappointing. You are disappointing, sir.
Okay. When Liverpool miss Salah and Van Dijk, come back and talk to me.
Okay. Let's park that aside. You understand? We can.
Look at somebody that could not even face Liverpool. They were disgraced 3-0.
It's okay. Don't worry, we are back now. Relax. Farabale.
It's embarrassing. You are the reason why Liverpool is where they are. You could not even stop Liverpool 3-0.
Oh, we are the reason why Liverpool is where they are.
You played
wow, I can't believe we are blaming us for Arsenal's disappointing season. You want to blame us for Arsenal's disappointing season?
Listen, the way the league works, everybody takes a point. That is the way Man City has won the leagues. What's it called? 8 out of 9. That's how they've won because only one team pushes back against City every season. The last 2 seasons is been Arsenal. Before that, it's been Liverpool. That's the point I'm trying to make. If you go
exactly because we never had a good team. You
You guys
not a good manager.
You guys are as good as Southampton. Man United, you are as good as Southampton.
Okay, we go know now. We will know. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Move on. Let's move on.
Please, let's move on.
I mean, honestly, all this goes back to at the beginning when Biodun was asking me why it's just so content. I said I don't want to contend. You see why? I mean, I don't want to contend, so I don't have to create excuses like this. You know, I'm happy where we are. But let's move on. Southampton, Chelsea, Cincy. Just
I give Chelsea.
Win a draw or a
Chelsea
draw.
win.
Chelsea win.
Charles, there are games that you just missed. There is Ipswich, Crystal Palace. There's Leicester.
I'm going from the bottom up. We've done Arsenal, Man U. I'm going from the bottom up.
Okay.
Southampton, Chelsea. Since he says Chelsea win, Biodun, what do you say?
Draw.
Okay. Newcastle, Liverpool, Biodun.
Draw.
Cincy?
Nah, I give Liverpool, man. They know how to win games like this.
Okay. Man City, Nottingham Forest.
Your voice is loud now. It's all about Arsenal going down. So I'm not surprised by your prediction.
Man City, Nottingham Forest, Cincy.
Man City needs to bounce back. I think they will win this one. They need to win, but it's going to be tough. Nottingham is a good team.
Okay, Biodun, what do you think?
Nottingham is not. I've been telling you people. Nottingham is one of those things that want to show up in the first six, in the first few games. They are not that good. Stop saying that. Man City will beat them. Arsenal taught them in Leicester.
Hold on, please. Can you pull up the table and see where? Let's see where Nottingham is right now on the table.
Yes, now because Man U is below them. Man U is like Southampton.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! You just said 5-6 games, and how many games have we played? And they are still up there. Your point is invalid right now, Mr. Biodun. I'm sorry.
The last two games. What is Nottingham's results? What is Nottingham Forest result? The last two games.
Moving on. No. Let's move on. We're doing predictions right now. Let's look at Nottingham Forest. Everton, Wolves. Biodun.
I think Wolves will win this.
Since you just whooped Everton, what do you think? You think they're going to come back?
Wolves. Everton is terrible right now. Wolves got this one.
Giving it to Wolves. Okay. Leicester City, West Ham. Biodun, your boys just dealt to West Ham. Do you think Leicester City is going with the new coach bounce? What do you think is going to happen?
Honestly, that West Ham team is not bad. That's a good side. Leicester don't have the players. I mean, they might have Nistelrooy. Again, people need to understand. No matter how great the coach is, you need players to work with.
Fair.
West Ham is going to win this one.
Cincy, you agree?
Nah, this is a draw. That's a draw written over it. Draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Final game: Ipswich, Crystal Palace. Cincy.
Ipswich
win.
Yeah.
Interesting. Biodun, what do you think?
Palace wins.
Crystal Palace win. Okay.
Crystal Palace wins this one.
Did you guys agree on anything all through this? I don't think so.
Nah, Mr. Biodun, I'm not agreeing on anything again.
Obviously.
From this day on, moving forward.
No. We agreed on Man City, Nottingham. I think it said Man City will beat Nottingham Forest.
Okay.
I think we agreed on that one.
Mm-hmm.
No,
okay.
From today, I have marked your face before.
All right. On that note, you both disagreed on almost everything all through this session. Very interesting session. Thank you all for coming through. Thank you, viewers, for watching. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. I hope you guys really enjoy this. And remember to, like Biodun mentioned at the beginning, like, subscribe, share with your loved ones. This was a great recording, and we look forward to doing more for you. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.